Good morning, good people of YouTube. Thank you for checking out the channel again. So today's job is a little bit of lime mortar pointing. I'm not a great exponent of being a lime chef. I've found the recipe on the internet, and so I'm going to mix it all up and try and do a good job. So then I've got some pointing to do here, just above the DPC, and then a little bit in on an archway into the property, and then rebedding some bricks on the brick wall. And I've taken advantage of yesterday's job, the overspill of yesterday's job. Got this little bit of rubber left over from my rubber roof job, some mix on. So I'm enormously pleased with myself. Oh, and the other update is that my GoPro 13 Black has now been brought back to life. I thought it was dead. Been onto the wonderfully open and accessible GoPro help customer services. Literally, it's easier to get in touch with MI5 than it is to get help from GoPro. So they eventually sent me an email telling me to check whether it was my SD card. I thought that's a load of nonsense. Pulled the SD card out and it started. I mean, it was dead. It was dead as a dono. Dono? It was dead as a donut. So yeah, very, very pleased. Right, let's crack on with the job. So today's recipe is lime mortar, and I'm not an expert on this. I've looked up some recipe books, and it's a 3-to-1, so it's 3 sand, and that's made up of 2-to-1 builder's sand and a bit of sharp sand for a bit of bite, and then 1 of lime mortar. So let's see how it goes. So our customers just made me a nice coffee, and thought I'd take this opportunity to tell you another story about the history of my work. So in York in 2015, York has often floods. We've got two rivers in York, the River Foss and the River Ouse, and they converge in the centre of York, right by the Castle Museum, and there's a pumping station there that controls, you know, so that one can flow into the other, and there are valves and pumps there. So in 2015, it was one of the biggest flooding episodes in York's history, and because there were apparently, we found, the residents of York found out about this afterwards, that there were eight pumps in that pumping station. Only 2 of them were working due to poor servicing and poor general stewardship of the facility. So what happened was that the River Ouse was flooding, so they tried to divert it into the River Foss, I mean, there was talk of the whole of the centre of York being flooded, you know, like washing out the railway station, etc. Anyway, they pumped it into the River Foss, and the Foss rose, and there was lots of flooding. So down Huntington Road was where, that runs parallel to the Foss. That was where most of the flooding damage occurred, to the extent that for the entirety of 2015 there were builders' vans and skips constantly down Huntington Road. It was almost like a post-apocalyptic scene. So I got a job helping a plumber friend of mine who had several properties, and he asked me to come and help him refurbish this basement flat that had been flooded to like 5 foot high. So we got in there, and we had to put visqueen sheet, line the walls with visqueen sheet, etc., and redo the floor insulation and T&G floor panels, etc. Anyway, so on this Monday I was supposed to meet this fella there. So I arrived early, and the parking was pretty dodgy around that area. So I arrived early, and I saw a parking space. So I thought, I'll put the wheelie bin in there for this fella that I'm working for, so to save the space for him. Anyway, a car came past and started to reverse into it, and I thought, mate, I'm not having this, you're not parking there. So I got hold of the wheelie bin and moved it further out, so and the bloke was gesticulating to me, waving and getting all irate. I said, look, and I was thinking, mate, you're not having this spot, no way. So he gets out of his car, he said, I'm just parking there. I said, I'm sorry mate, this spot's saved. No, sorry. He said, but I want to park there. I said, well, you're not. Like this. Anyway, this argy-bargy to and fro, and the next thing I hear this fella I'm working for shouting down the street, Pete, Pete. I said, what? He goes, that's Neil, he's working with us today. So anyway, I had to profusely apologise, and then I spent the next 5 days working with this fella, and it was a little bit awkward at the start. So at the end of the first day, he goes, right, I'll see you tomorrow, Pete. And he says one thing. I said, what? He goes, don't give me a hard time tomorrow, will I? Sorry mate, yeah, no, I definitely won't. Yeah, park where you want. What larks. Good morning folks, and today's job is repair of a windowsill. Lady's got a decorator in to paint the front of her house, and who's refused to paint certain areas of this bay window due to rotting. So I'm going to get my table saw out and mock up some of the profiles and just basically effect a repair so that she can get the frontage painted. So let's see how it evolves. So this is the area that we've got to repair, and basically mimic the profiles of the rotted timber and replace them with good. So So hopefully we can restore the full majesty of this Edwardian bay window. Okay, back to you soon. So that's cut away the old rotted timber, and we've exposed the counterweight there for the sash window. So let's make a patch and glue and screw that in. So that's one of the repairs done. So just glued a bit of old PSE I had in the van together, make a big enough patch. Put a 22.5-degree angle on it and cut it to size, and glue pinned and filled. So wait for that to go off and sand it, and then I'll start on the next bit now. There's one bit fixed, have a look.
Okay. Oh yeah, oh gosh, yeah. That's a lot better. That's a lot better, thank you.
I mean, that's sort of about 16mm thick, so it's...
Yes. So,
solid.
why do you think it's got these windows? They're not even 15 years old. I have them made. Why do you think it's gone so quickly?
I don't know. I don't know at all. I just think it's probably the way it's in the lee of the wind.
Right, and it's just getting
That's the only thing I can think of, yeah.
Yeah.
There's like a dead zone, like, no, this has got swirling, you know, air around it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's the only thing I can think of.
Okay. Yeah.
But I mean, how long is that taking to go?
Well, the windows, they won't be more than 15 years old, and I do keep it painted. In fact, the painter's coming next year to redo it. The last painter that did it, he put, you know, it was all done properly. You know, so it's not like they've been neglected.
No, well,
and I'm just shocked that.
I think that's just factor it into par for the course,
right.
Maintenance, you know. And it's,
yeah, I suppose so.
You know, it's lovely timber, innit? I mean, it's
well, maybe another. I didn't want the plastic ones, but you know, sometimes I think next time maybe, you know.
Is this a conservation area, do you think?
Well, it is conservation, but they're not listed.
No.
So you know.
So you're obliged to fit timber.
Yeah, that they do. Yeah. Well, no, you don't. Some people have got plastic ones, and these days you can hardly tell the difference.
Yeah.
I mean, they've come on a long way from what they used to be like.
Yeah.
But the council they do prefer it if you use the correct materials. So.
Yeah.
Oh, so what?
Hello, Roger. Yes. How are you doing? Yeah. Yes, I know of Skill Builder channel. Yeah. Yeah. How are you doing, Roger? Yeah. Yeah. Well, that would be wonderful. Yes, I'd love to form an allegiance with your channel. And you'd like to feature my channel on Skill Builder over a 6-week period? Absolutely fine, Roger. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah. I mean, just one question, Rog. What took you so long, mate? Hey? Great. All right. Yeah. Well, I'll see you tomorrow for that meeting. Cheers. Good old Roger. So, patches made, tried, fitted and filled. So wait for that to dry and then just give it a sand over and it's over to the painter. So that's job done, patches made, installed, glued, filled and sanded. So here's the final job. So over to the painter and I'm off for a brew.